Have you ever wanted to treat a string like a file in Python, but found yourself stuck? It can be a real challenge, especially when you want to avoid rewriting open source libraries. Today, we're going to tackle this issue together. I totally get it. You have a string of text that you want to use as if it were a file, but Python's open function just won't cooperate. You're not alone in this struggle. Many developers face similar dilemmas. Here's the specific question we're addressing. One user asked how to treat a string of text as a path-like object in Python. They provided an example string and expressed frustration that their attempts to use it with the open function were unsuccessful. Sound familiar? Let's dive into this. So what's the issue here? The problem arises because the string is not a path-like object, which is what the open function requires. This can be frustrating, especially when you want to avoid creating temporary files or directories. And stick around. I have a clever solution at the end that will allow you to treat your string like a file without any hassle. To treat a string as a file in Python, the user can utilize the I/O module, specifically the string.io class. This allows the user to create an in-memory file-like object from a string. Next, the user should create an instance of string.io using the string they want to treat as a file. This will allow them to use it in place of a traditional file. Now the user can use this file-like object with the open function. However, since string.io does not directly work with open, they can read from it using its own methods. If the user needs to simulate file operations, they can use the string.io object directly without needing to open it as a file. This allows for easy manipulation of the string data. Finally, when the user is done with the string.io object, they should close it to free up resources, just like they would with a regular file. Fun fact, did you know that Python's pathlib module was introduced in version 3.4 to make file handling easier? It's a great tool for managing file paths. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. And there you have it. You can now treat a string as a file in Python without creating any temporary files. If you found this helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks. An alternative solution suggests using the temp file module to create a temporary file. This allows you to write your string to a file, read it back, and then delete the file afterward. Let's check out another perspective from a different user. An alternative solution comes from another user who found success using the I/O package in Python 3. They suggest using io.string.io to treat a string as a file-like object. That's all for that response. Let's see what someone else had to say. An alternative approach involves using a context manager to temporarily override the open function. This allows you to treat a string as a file without modifying the original open function permanently. In this method, you can define a new open function that uses string.io or any other reader. This allows you to read from a string as if it were a file, while still being able to read from actual files outside the context.